Now, if you paid for daycare and worked for any of the last 3 years, you absolutely have to do this. You have a kid or kids in daycare? Well, I'm about to show you a perfectly legal tax saving technique that could save you big money on taxes. I'm talking potentially thousands of dollars in taxes. Let's get into this. Hi, my name is Casey Bringhurst. I'm a CPA and I'm here to help you save money on taxes. Make sure you stay till the end of this video where I'm going to show you how to review some of your previous tax returns and get you your hard-earned money back from the government. But before we get to that, you have to understand some basic concepts. As always, before you do anything, consult a professional. Go get a CPA and have him look at your tax return. One thing that drives me absolutely bonkers about my profession is that there's a lot of people that don't ask the necessary questions to help you maximize your tax return and get as much money back in your pocket as possible. So my goal here is to present you with information and to help you figure out if you're missing these items. Today I want to talk about the Child and Dependent Care Credit. Now that's a really wordy way of saying that the IRS is trying to incentivize and help people who are using daycare or nannies in order to work. So how much can you save and do you qualify? Well, unfortunately, the answer in taxes is always, it depends on your personal situation. So let's go through some rules and some guidelines and we'll see if you qualify. Now here's a couple of ground rules that will automatically disqualify you from this credit. So the first one is you have to have kids that are in daycare or are being nannied. And if you don't have kids that were in this situation in this year, then you don't qualify for this credit. The second one is you have to have earned income. So what is earned income? Earned income is basically money that you make from working a job or from being self-employed. So if you're working a job or you're self-employed and you're making money, you could qualify for this credit. If that's not you, then you do not qualify for this credit. Now, if you do have kids in daycare and you are working, then you most likely qualify for this credit. So let's do some more specific calculations to see what you would get back on your taxes. Make sure you go and get the exact information if you want to know the exact tax credit that you should be getting. But if you have a good estimate, you can use that as well. Number one, how many kids did you have in childcare in the tax year that we're talking about? Number two, how much did you pay for childcare in the tax year that we're talking about? And number three, what was your earned income in that year? Or in other words, how much money did you make from your job or from self-employment in the tax year? Once you have this information, figuring out your tax credit is going to be super simple. All we got to do is follow this equation. Your child and dependent care credit is going to equal your qualifying expenses times your applicable percentage. So what are your qualifying expenses? Well, simply put, your qualifying expenses are what you paid in daycare, but there is a limit. So if you had one kid in daycare, the limit is $3,000. If you had 2 or more kids in daycare, then your limit is $6,000. Awesome. Now we need to figure out our applicable percentage, which I have right here. What this table shows is what our applicable percentage should be based on how much earned income I had in the tax year. So let's say I earned $95,000 at my normal, regular, boring desk job. My applicable percentage is 0.2 or 20%. Let's say that I'm a teacher that earned $37,000 this last year. Well, my applicable percentage is 0.23 or 23%. Now all you have to do is take your qualified expenses and multiply them by that applicable percentage. And poof, you've got the money that you save on your taxes. Pretty simple, right, you guys? Let's say that you paid $10,548 in daycare for 2 kids in the most recent tax year. You earned $25,000 and your spouse earned $9,000 waiting tables. Your expenses are limited to $6,000 since you had 2 kids and the total expenses are greater than $6,000, which according to the boring tax table makes your applicable percentage 0.25. So $6,000 times 0.25 equals $1,500 in tax savings. That's money in your pocket and out of the government's. Now, I could keep going, but that seems kind of hard. So I just made an Excel spreadsheet down below for you guys. It's super easy. Follow the instructions, punch in the numbers, and see how much you're going to save. Now we get to the best part. This is the part where you can save potentially anywhere from $1,500 to $6,000 depending on your specific tax situation. So in taxes, there's this thing called an amended tax return. So all an amended tax return is you going back and correcting mistakes on your tax return from previous years. And you can amend tax returns up to 3 years ago and still get your money back. You guys see where I'm going with this? Go get your tax returns for the last 3 years and open them up. Go to Form 1040, page 2, line 20. If this line is empty, then you missed this tax credit and can amend to get your money back for previous years. Let's say that you missed this tax credit for each of the past 3 years, and that you should have been getting a $1,500 credit on each of those tax returns. Well, that's $4,500. You can go find a CPA, ask them to amend your tax returns, and you could potentially get up to $4,500 back in your pocket. That's money that you didn't even know you were missing, and it's yours now. Ultimately, if you take 10 minutes to go review your previous tax returns and you did make this mistake, you can get thousands of dollars back in your pocket with super minimal effort. I call that a win. If you need a CPA to file an amendment for you, then I'm absolutely happy to do that. You can email me at caseybringhurst@gmail.com. And I'm willing to help you with previous years. I'm also willing to help you with the upcoming year, 2023. So feel free to reach out or reach out to your CPA and get this figured out. Thanks, you guys, and have a great day.